3.5 years ago. A frustrated graduate had just come out of college, no income, literally, when we saw World Ventures, my wife and I were not yet married. We were looking to start up a brand new family. So I was out of a job, and even as we were graduating and finishing up from college, my wife's contract was also running out. So, what that meant was the following year we needed to get married with no job, with no income. And we saw World Ventures with other projects that we've been working on prior to World Ventures. So we saw World Ventures as a way out, and it's literally changed our lives. Our life to a whole different world altogether. And we really do count ourselves blessed. When we saw World Ventures, walk through World Ventures, we were able to go on back-to-back honeymoons. I'm being for real here. We were out of jobs, but we were able to go on a week-long honeymoon in Cape Town, hopping from one beachfront resort to the other because we had worked on World Ventures. From that honeymoon, we went off to a second honeymoon in Fairmont, Zimbabwe. Again, that was another beautiful resort. So you can imagine, I don't come from that place of privilege where, everything is there. My story is a little bit different. I come from that place where, we were basically, looking for a way out. This was a do or die situation where, I've got to break out of the cycle. I've got to come out of the cycle. And we always believed that life could be better. And, World Ventures has taken us on multiple vacations around the world. We've been able to go on week-long vacations in Dubai. We've done Abu Dhabi, we've hopped in. In fact, I think last year, we were able to do 9 trips in 1 year. Something ordinarily wouldn't have been possible. For those that don't know, I'm dialing in from Zimbabwe, and I'm sure the whole world knows about the Zim situation. It's a place literally where there's no economy to talk about whatsoever. And, I'm just also going to share with you on building the business with the context of the Zimbabwean context. And, we come from a nation where, people are getting paid something like 50 USD every single month. I'm not even talking to you about history. I'm talking about right now, because when they convert whatever they're getting in terms of earnings, it comes to around about 50 USD. So you can imagine building a business in such an environment. It's not any easy thing, but we always make a plan, like they always say. So for me, World Ventures came in as a vehicle that could literally change our lifestyles, and it has done so. We look at it as a blessing. We have a 2.5 months old daughter. She's a blessing to us, and for us, we know that her story is going to be definitely different from us, and her narrative is definitely going to be much better. So let's get into the business of the day. That was just my background there. And my story. So today we're looking at inviting. I always get excited about inviting because inviting is the #1 tool that one person grow and build this business. I was listening to one audio, and one of the trainers there was saying, I sat down and I thought, what is the #1 skill that every network marketer needs to have? It's not presenting, because you cannot present to an empty room. The #1 skill is not closing, because you cannot close an empty room. The most important and vital skill in building our business is inviting. If one of the things I've learned, and I'm really blessed to have learned this right at the start of the business, is if one can master the art of inviting, they definitely can be successful in the business. So when I started the business, my main goal was to help as many of my team members to master the art of inviting. Once they can master the art of inviting, it's game over. As long as the right numbers go before a presentation, it's done. It's not about how good the presentation is. It's not about how good the closing is. It's about how many people can see the presentation. So I'm going to share to Those that are still brand new, let's say I get you started as a brand new member today, I'm then going to share for those that have been seasoned and have been in the game. So for those that have started as a brand new member, one of the things that we are applying and using is I definitely take them through Quick Coach, making a list. But after Quick Coach, I just make things very simple. I just tell them download every contact that you have on the phone, and I paint for them the picture that this is your business database list. This is your millionaires list. The more the numbers you have on your list, the more the numbers you have on your list, it's the more money you make. So if you want to make more money, you're going to try and get more people on the list. If you want to make less money, you're getting less people on the list. So brand new member got their list sorted out. I'm going to teach them how to invite. And inviting is not sharing over the phone or preempting. Inviting is basically, just getting someone to an invite. It's like booking an appointment to the doctor. That's how I take it. You don't start telling the doctor your symptoms before you get to the clinic or to the doctor's place. You want to book an appointment. So the whole idea of inviting is booking in an appointment. Now, it's not about, we're going to get into the fundamentals a bit later on, but what I do with a brand new member, just to give a tip, instead of me sending them to go and do, especially if they're in the same city, right now it's a different situation altogether, but if they're in the same city, I want to sit with them during the game planning session. Let's say I've signed them up right now. I don't want to send them off and say, go and invite. I want to sit with them and teach them how to invite, especially if it's for their launch. And we do it right there and then, because the tendencies are when they go their way, they're going to do their own stuff. I've found a lot of people, they do this. You tell them, go do things this way, they go do things the other way. So for the brand new members, be coachable. If your coach, if the person who's invited you, the person who signed you up tells you invite like this, just follow the script. So what I do, especially for the leaders, just a tip to the leaders, sit with your brand new member when you've gotten them started. They're just like a brand new baby. You don't leave the brand new baby and go shopping. You sit with them down and you're getting things going together. You're inviting together. So that really helps, especially to set the good numbers for their launch or for their business launch. So we're going to sit together and then, we're going to invite together. Then the second thing that I also do is to give them a script, because already we have a system in place. So I'm going to give them a script. Either I'm going to tell them to say, hey, so I use different scripts depending on the person, their credibility, influence in society, etc. After having spoken to them or formed them. So I say, hey, there's some serious money to be made. I thought about you first. Are you available to meet me? So what I do is they are inviting via text. I'm going to get them to do that while we're together, because as they are facing objections, we are handling the objections together, and they're learning how to handle objections. When people ask them, what is it? What is it all about? We're doing it together, and they are learning how to handle objections. So the more a person invites, the better it is. Now, I'm going to come back to our current context, the formula that I'm using at the present moment, 48-hour duplication rule. I sign you up right now. I'm going to give you exactly 2 hours to do your business launch online, because everyone's at home right now. So everyone is either they're bored or they're working 24 on the clock if they're in their business. So I'm going to get you to invite in the next 2 hours. So I sign you up right now. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do your business launch online via Zoom. This is how I want you to invite your friends. Hey, there's some serious money to be made here. Are you available to hop online with me for about 20 minutes? There's something that I want you to have a look at, whatever the invite script. I'm sure we all have the invite script. And then they're going to do that. And then I'm going to tell them, do 10 people. So in between, what I do is I bounce back between those 2 hours. After 1 hour, I'm going to ask them, how many people do you have confirmed right now? So one of the trades, if someone tells you I'm still on 2-3 people, what that tells you is it's either they're doing their own stuff or they're not inviting at all. But the tendency of what I found in the 3.5 years I've been doing this is when someone tells you I'm around a 10, 15, that tells you that person is excited and they're blazing the trail and they are out and about getting the invite. So we do the first presentation right within the first 2 hours. What we're going to do, we're going to schedule a second one. I'm going to tell them this one is just we're just getting you started. We're just kick starting. Don't be afraid if you make mistakes, but let's get a second one done within the next 24 hours. So let's say I got signed up right at 8. So at 10 o'clock, I'm doing your first launch. You're inviting all your friends. At 5 o'clock in the evening or at 9 p.m. today, same day, I'm going to do a second launch and they are inviting again. So that's the strategy. So a new member, I want to move through the numbers. One of the things that I learned from one of the leaders was, I think it should have been Zanpierre. It says, when someone signs up with me, I always tell myself I have exactly 90 days with them before either they quit my business. So I want to get through and work through with them as fast as possible. No, secondly, for the older members, the tendency and the temptation is to stop inviting, which is very dangerous. I'll be very honest with you. I'll be very open with you as leaders. I've fallen into this trap before, where now you're just that guy who's showing up with no guests. I'm sure for the senior members, you appreciate this. You're just presenting, you're not even bringing in people. But what you need to understand is the speed of the leader and the action of the leader is the speed of the perk. Very important. Your team is going to do exactly what you're doing and 10% of that. If you show up without guests and they are just inviting, you slowly move into management mode where you're no longer producing. And what eventually happens is you're no longer putting in personal signups. And when you stop putting in personal signups, guess what? You're limiting your lineages. Your team is going to feel it's okay to show up to a meeting without guests. It's okay to show up to a meeting without inviting anyone. So I always make sure that I have a guest in the room. I have someone on a call. I have someone. If I invite someone, I take a screenshot, I post in my working group so that people appreciate and understand that as a leader, I am working. So with that, let me just move to the module. So always be in inviting mode regardless of the rank that you're at, because you're always putting in new blood into the system. So you can be bad at closing, but if you show enough people, then you definitely get the results. They say if you throw enough mud at the wall, some of it is going to stick. Show as many people as you can. So how do I invite someone if I am inviting them to two-on-one to a big event? This one is very, very easy. You've got a big shot coming in. I'm just covering the segments. Inviting to a big event. You're inviting someone, there's a big shot coming into your city. Very easy to edify. Let's say maybe it's Mr. Henry coming down to Bulawayo in Zimbabwe. I'm going to say, hey guys, you know what? I've got a 6-figure US dollar earner, business partner of mine all the way from Johannesburg. He's coming into the city to share wisdom and nuggets with a few entrepreneurs. Are you open to meeting him and getting to hear what he has to say? Simple as that. That's another invite strategy if I'm inviting. So what I do, once I come up with a script, I can be able to then share it with the team, and the team duplicates this because it's a system. So it's just a copy and paste issue. Now, the second is inviting to a home event. I'm sure we all appreciate home events are our bread and butter. You know, one of the people that I really appreciate on this call is Mr. Henry Moore, is the one who started teaching me about home events. I came down to South Africa for about a week. We spent some time working together, and that completely shifted my business. I'm telling you, I have to be honest with you. Some people thought there was some special, you know, I don't know, herbs or whatever, witchcraft I was using to build the business, because they could not understand that the home events were the bread and butter. So we went on with the home events. So this is so easy to duplicate. So inviting to a home is much easier because people, number one, you need to understand, people are curious, especially for the ladies. People want to see your couch. People want to see your garden. People want to see how good your house looks, etc. You know, the lady kind of thing. So, you know, people are definitely going to be curious if you're inviting to your home, because people want to see. I want to attend this into, you know, people like things, so they want to see what's up, how the curtains look like. So definitely it's going to be easy to get people into your home. And secondly, people sign up better in a home because they trust you, they know you, and it's much easier. So home events are duplicatable. So inviting someone to a home event, this is a script I used for a long time in Zimbabwe, and you know, it did magic for me. I'd say to, I just gave this to my team, and my team was just copying and pasting again. You know, I'm making a big announcement in front of all my friends, in front of all my special friends at the same time. Kindly confirm if you are available so that I can reserve a seat for you. Number one, big announcement. People are going to be curious. Is she getting married? Is she pregnant? Is she leaving the country? Or whatever. People are going to definitely want to come in there. In front of all my special friends, saves you the headache of you saying, what is it? If they say, what is it? You say, why do you want to catch the news faster before everyone else? I said, I'm going to say it in front of everyone at the same time. Now, kindly confirm if I should reserve your seat. That puts an impression that this is a VIP event. If seats are being reserved, I definitely want a seat reserved, because who doesn't want a seat reserved for them? So definitely they're going to want to pop in. You're making your meeting professional. People are RSVPing to that meeting, and that gives you the class and the respect that you deserve. So that's inviting to a home event. Let me move quickly. My time is flying. 2-on-1, very easy. Again, you're inviting a person to a 2-on-1. I think I'm going to stop on the 2-on-1. You're inviting people to a 2-on-1 meeting. So you're going, probably you're asking them, hey, can we meet for coffee at Mug and Bean or at such and such a place? You're locking the time and date. And then the most important thing now is, when you've gotten them to a 2-on-1, is the 3-way triangle of edification, where you're saying, hey, or you can invite, it's different now. If you're inviting someone probably much ranked up, you're saying, hey, can you meet me with one of my coaches here, you know, and you know, he's a successful entrepreneur doing very well in what I'm about to show you, and then you do the edification. I just want to bounce back because something came back to me on the home events. So on the home events, one of the things that has managed to help us to be successful is constantly accounting. What has helped us to pack out home events is constantly accounting. So let's say I'm launching Ziggy. So I've signed up Ziggy and I'm doing her launch tomorrow. So I'm going to do game planning with her and teach her just the basics, faster, just the basics of inviting. So when I release her, let's say it's 8 today, I'm going to say, Ziggy, I'm going to talk to you at exactly 2 o'clock. At least I need you to be having 15 numbers confirmed. So when I call Ziggy, I ask her, Ziggy, how many people do you have? Probably she'll say, I've got around about 10, or I've got 9, I've got 8. Then I'll say, push for some more. Let's talk again at 6 o'clock. Send out more invites, because the more the people you invite, the more the money you make. So what we do, like especially in Zimbabwe, our sign-up ratio is literally low. While for probably most people it's 2 in every 10, probably for us in Zimbabwe it's 1 in every 10 or 0 in every 10. So which means you need to pack out the venue. You need more people coming into the venue. So if I'm doing a brand new member launch, I'm definitely gonna push to say, let's go for 30. I know they might not get 30, but if they miss on 30, at least they can have at least about 15. If they do very well, they do at least about 20. And then when that happens as well, you now, at least you make sure when they're coming out of the room, they are having, you know, a guest in there. Another thing that helps us is we do what we call call parties, or, you know, sizzle sessions, where we just meet together as a team just for about an hour or 2, and we're just pumping in the invites for several different presentations, doing phone dump and call dropping, etc. That really helps. It brings the team spirit together. People are together, the energy is on, the energy is lit up, especially if the distances are not that tight, and people are just crunching the business and getting people invited. So I just thought I'd drop in that tip right there. So, well, I lecture at a local university, so sometimes I'll be now wanting to say, is there anyone who's got questions? But my time doesn't allow me to do that. So I'm going to come back to our inviting fundamentals. So First and foremost, number one, the most important thing is emotionally detach yourself. Do not be the person needy. Guys, what we need to understand and impart on our team members is the fact that we have the deal. I'm going to try and turn on my video for this one. Guys, we have the deal. We've got a vehicle that's not available out there, and our inner posture, our inner confidence, our inner energy gets transferred onto the team. And when that certainty is passed on, they invite it positive, because the general temptation is to think that we need the people that we are inviting more than they need us. But guys, who's got the deal here? Who's got the multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar business? It's us. So when we begin to understand in our minds that we've got a billion-dollar deal in our hands, our inviting and posture is going to be different. We've got an opportunity that can take a broke graduate like myself, helping them to make a 4-figure income in US dollars, 5, 6, 7 figures. I mean, this is the kind of deal that we have. So zero emotional attachment. We need to accept and teach our team members that people are going to say no. It's not everyone who's going to, you know, I've got a friend of mine, very funny. He says, why do you want to be liked by everyone? Are you money? Because money is the only thing that's liked by everyone. Some people are not going to like you. That's a fact. So zero emotional attachment. There are no emotions that you're going to put in the invite. And you know, it's a very funny thing that when people tell that you're not begging them and needing them, that's actually when they are attracted to you. That's actually when they're more excited about following you. People like to follow strength, not weakness. People like to follow certainty, not neediness. So the moment I call my friend and I say, John, I've got a big deal I'm working on here, and you know, this is really huge. Are you available to meet me? So what this does is, number one, excitement that changes the game. So number one, no need for emotional attachment. I've got about 7 minutes left here. So number two, be excited. I mean, I always say this to the team and share that, you know, you can't be inviting your friend to fun, freedom, fulfillment, and just say, hey, John, I've just got this big thing that's really, I mean, they can tell, because what we're in, guys, it's an energy game. It's all about energy. It's people don't buy the presentation, don't buy, you know, the words, all the sophisticated things. They buy the energy. They buy the excitement. That's what people are after. That's what people are hungry for. So our energy, our excitement, I'm not saying let's be funny, yeah, but I'm saying, you know, our energy, our excitement is what creates people in. Also, another thing is closing begins with inviting. That's where your closing begins. Your excitement, your certainty. That's where your closing begins. So number two, you need to be excited. Excitement to create energy. Excitement to create curiosity. I always say this to those people that are not really that talkative, you know, those people that are just reserved, I believe they have a big advantage, because when they just get a little excited in their invite, people are going to be curious. I always say to my wife, you have more advantage than me because you rarely post. So when you post once, everyone wants to look to see what you're doing. So number three, be in a hurry. Again, I'll give you the Zimbabwean context. You know, where we're in, you know, airtime is very expensive, data is very expensive. So if you spend what we've taught the team is, if you spend a longer time inviting and trying to grab someone to a presentation, you're going to spend more money on someone who's not going to show up. You know, you're going to waste your time. So we literally time each other to say, your invitation should last not more than 60 seconds, because probably when you've juiced up with the amount of money that you have for airtime, probably you only have airtime for about 10 minutes, which means you need to throw out 10 invites or 20 invites. So a person who crosses over the minute, they're already chowing into your time. So be in a hurry. That creates a sense of urgency. And also it saves you from the explaining trap of wanting to explain to people, what is it all about, etc. So be in a hurry. So number four, the less you say, the more you make. Very simple, guys. The less you say over the phone, the more you make. And also, it's about duplication. Once people know that when they're inviting, they also have to explain, that's going to sort of like discourage them from jumping into the business, because people are a little bit hesitant. If I have to explain just for someone to come through. So the less you say, the more you make. Less explanations, get to the point. Like I said before, you're just booking an appointment with the doctor. All you want is for them to reserve a seat. And then number 5, so do not preempt, just try and, just get as much as you can. And then also the other trap is just emailing people, just getting into a group and throwing the information or the invite, very big trap, because no one is going to look at that information, or trying to invite from a group, broadcasting. Some people are going to say this is a scam, etc. And once one person speaks out, it's going to mess up the whole crew. And, so basically that's about it. From my end, just to say to you that inviting is key. Inviting is the most important part of our business. It's very, very key. The more the people you invite, the more you and your teams begin to master the art of inviting, the more the money you make, the more your business will grow and go to the next level. And it's all about mindset. The moment you understand that they need you more than you need them, you have the deal, then it's game over. It's all in the mind. It's all in what we perceive. So thank you so much for your time. I hope that was helpful. I'm gonna hand back to Mr. Henry, a very phenomenal leader. I have so much respect for Mr. Henry. He's one leader who's very solid. My business, for me to be where I am today, I have to be very honest with you and give credit where it's due. It's because of Mr. Henry's contribution. From time to time, I've lost the track, and he just says, no, let's go back and realign this. And, he's given me the winning formula. And I'll be very honest with you, I do everything that he tells me to do. And if you do exactly what he tells you to do, the results are definitely inevitable. Back to you, Mr. Henry. I don't know if I've missed anything or anything of that sort. Over to you, Mr. Henry.